Time now to look at some issues in Ghana. We start off with the running story on the leaked tape that is purporting to oust the IGP, Dr. Akuffo Dampare. Now, I have here with me in the studio to do this conversation, Elvis Darkon, he's editor of the Finder newspaper. Welcome. Good morning, Elvis.
Thank you.
Right, so we'll just start with the report, which is in the Ghanaian Times, is a story by Julius Yao Pepechi, and it reads, the 7-member Special Parliamentary Committee investigating the alleged plot by 2 police officers and a former Northern Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, to mastermind the removal of the Inspector General of Police has stumbled on a new tape in its quest to unravel the rationale behind the plot. The new tape comes after the 2 police officers who are witnesses before the committee, COP George Alex Mensah and Superintendent George Asari, said the audio before the committee is doctored. The chairman of the committee, Samuel Atachia, told journalists after yesterday's sitting in Accra that members of the ad hoc committee would be listening to the new tape to inform the next line of action. Quote, you have heard them say that the audio is not authentic in terms of some aspects, but they admitted that some portions are authentic. We now have the benefit of another tape on the assumption that it is authentic, and members of the committee would have to internalize that tape, and that will give us the idea as to what to do next. For now, members are doing some serious reading of what is supposed to be the authentic tape, and that will inform our next activity, unquote, he stated. The committee, Mr. Atacha said, was considering bringing all parties captured in the tape together to one table with their legal representations of cross-examination for claims to be authenticated or otherwise. He also disclosed that the committee has received petitions from senior police officers who want to testify before it. Another quote, trust us as a committee that there is nothing of consequence that we will brush aside. It's going to be a very comprehensive interrogation. If people want to aid us do our fact-finding, we will not block them, unquote, Mr. Atachia assured. Meanwhile, Superintendent Asari alleged when he appeared before the committee yesterday that the IGP, Dr. George Akuffo Dampare, masterminded the recording of what he said were private conversations with Chief Bugri Nabu, the former NPP Northern Regional Chairman. His claim corroborates that of COP Mensah, who told the committee last week that his intelligence intel suggests that what was used to tape the conversation was done by the current IGP. Quote, I also have the intel that the IGP agreed with Bugri Nabu to do the recording after Bugri Nabu had gone to inform the IGP that somebody wants your job or somebody wants your post, to the extent that a CV that was collected from Commissioner Mensah and sent to Bugri Nabu ended up with the IGP, Superintendent Asari stated. He recounted that following the leakage of the tape, Bugri Nabu called him and addressed him as Asante and asked who leaked the tape. I am Asari, but when Alhaji Bugri Nabu called me after the leaked tape, I don't know what moved him to call me Asante. This Asante para intel is a corporal or sergeant that has been promoted to go to police college to become an ASP, he said. So this is where we are as of yesterday with the leaked audio. Elvis, this is where we find ourselves now. The issue every day per sitting, something new comes up. And so as of yesterday, it was adjourned indefinitely, and new tapes that have come out need to be listened to determine what the next move should be. In all this, what would be your initial comments?
Oh, no, for me, I have said it that this thing is a personal desire of someone who wants to be an IGP. And he succeeded in recruiting others to support his effort to become an IGP. Lobbying for an IGP position is a normal thing that continues to happen. Because from the position of DCOP, Deputy Commissioner of Police, to Commissioner of Police, you qualify to be appointed as an IGP.
Yeah.
And an IGP position is an appointment. So a president can decide to sidestep all commissioners and go and appoint a deputy commissioner as an IGP. There will be nothing wrong with it, because that's the qualification one needs to be an IGP.
Yeah.
So somebody who wants to be an IGP, desires to be an IGP for various reasons, it's not a problem. He has gone to somebody he thinks the president will listen to. and sent his grievances to the person and says, I want to be an IGP, so help me, there will be nothing wrong with that. The problem is where they choose to paint the current IGP as not doing a good job, which to me is also contradictory. Because if you look at what they said about the reason actually he should go, was largely about the police performance in Asen North. And according to the tape, the claim is that the police did their work too effectively, which did not permit the incumbent government to do things that to favor it in that election. And therefore, if we should go into 2024 election and the police should do a similar job, it means that the current government will not have opportunity to manipulate things in order to retain power. That it was captured on the tape.
That they are mafia tactics.
And that is why they want the current IGP to be removed. Because if the man seeking to be there is given the opportunity, that man will aid the current government to do mafia and be able to retain power in 2024. For me, you are in this comment, you are not saying that the IGP is incompetent. You are not saying that he's not doing a good job. Rather, you are praising the man that he is doing his job too well.
He's too disciplined.
So if you are saying that somebody should be removed from position because he's doing his job too well, me, I don't know how I can understand you. And I don't know how I will side with you. Because I want the Ghana Police Service to work effectively. In Ghana, we have all been saying that all institutions must be allowed to work. Institutions should be able to work fair to everybody. So if in your own voice, you are saying that the man has been very fair, strict, and made sure that everything has been done rightly, and you are saying because of that the person should be removed, there's no way I will understand or back you. But now, the narrative is now turning to the fact that the man is not leading the police service well. What they meant by that, they've not been able to explain to us at the hearing. Anytime the question is put to them, what do you mean that the man is not leading the police service well? They say they can only say that in camera. So whatever reasons they have to say the man is not leading the police service well, we cannot discuss that because they've not given any idea of what they meant by that. If they are the police and they have their own person, whatever they want the IGP to do that is not being done internally, they may have their own things to say. But ask yourself, in the public domain, in the past 20 years, all the IGPs we have had, I have witnessed them. If you want to compare Dampare to all of them, the public verdict is that Dampare has become an IGP that the public has been yearning for so many years for now. The public has endorsed the work of IGP Dampare. The public has said the way he's doing his work is actually how they think the police must work. And for me, if the public is endorsing the IGP for his work, and internally people are saying that they don't think that the IGP, some people, they don't think the IGP is doing a good job. We wait to hear what they have to say, why they think it's not doing a good job. Is it for personal reasons? Is it for certain things that I expect that they are not getting? That's why they are saying that. However, I want to be mindful and say something about the committee. I think the committee was set up purely to identify the voices on the tape and establish who and who said what on the tape. But now we are hearing of some people now sending a petition, some senior officers sending a petition to the committee, and the committee says we are ready to hear the petition. Somebody comes and says there's another audio somewhere, we want to come up with it, and it's like the committee just expanded its work. And I think that as a journalist, I think first of all, let's establish the voices. And I think all the people who have come so far have admitted that it's their voice on the tape. And that the only accusation they are making is that they believe that it is not the raw tape and that there has been some editing to achieve a certain effect. The way what they are talking about, doctor, all that they are saying is that they believe that there has been some editing of the raw tape to achieve a certain effect.
Yeah.
If a tape has been edited, the question is the word that came out of your mouth, did it come out of your mouth or not? Are we hearing another voice on the tape or it is the same voice?
Yeah.
So, for me, the issue of some senior officers or other people in the service petitioning the committee and all other things that they are saying, I think that the committee should be mindful. They have been given a term of reference. They are a fact-finding committee, and the fact-finding they are supposed to be doing is about the voice on the tape. So somebody bringing a petition or so many other things, I'm not sure that is part of their terms of reference, whether they are a fact-finding committee or not. The fact they are supposed to find is one, whether the tape is original, whether the tape is verifiable, and whether the voices on the tape, the people can be identified. And then we establish that yes, these conversations actually took place and why this conversation. But to be going and talking about some people who have not been captured on that tape, who are not a subject of the fact finding, now sending a petition to the committee, and then all kinds of things. I think that the committee should reserve that. If they are done with this, and the Parliamentary Committee on Defense and Interior thinks that there's an issue, and that they want to look at that, then people can be allowed to send whatever petition to the Parliamentary Committee on Interior and Defense and say whatever they want to, so that that will be a different mandate. But I think this mandate should purely focus on the authenticity of the tape, whether the meeting took place, the voices, or whether they actually participated. I think these are the things that this particular committee is supposed to do. I think that they shouldn't say that because they are fact-finding committee, they will go and expand their mandate to the point where when they even present their report, the public will not even know what really the outcome of the report is. You give us the establish that the tape is authentic. The people on the tape were identified. When they came, they admitted that it was their voice. The portions that they think that has been challenged, they should provide evidence to back why they are challenging that portion. And let's conclude this report.
Right.
If there are concerns, that is why there's a Parliamentary Committee on Defense and Interior. If they think that aside the tape, there are other issues or there's
then we deal with that
within the service,
right.
The Parliamentary Committee on Interior and Defense
we'll take
or the Police Council can set up a different committee
to
look into those things and see whether there's any merit or not. But I don't think that they have to mix the two together.
Okay. Right. So we've also been joined by the late Larry Dogbe of the Herald newspaper.
Please.
But is it not late?
Please, the late can mean so many things.
So the late
cannot be late.
No, sir, he's trying to be mischievous. I'm playing along. Welcome, Larry. Nice watch.
Thank you.
The system is working.
Which of them?
No, your watch is nice. Anyway, so you're welcome. Now, we're talking about the leaked IGP tape. You know, now it's beginning to take a different turn. Now, my concern is... Elvis, you know, we're just talking about the mandate of the committee, establish whether the tape is authentic. Are the people heard on the tape, the people that we are talking to? Now, my concern is, in terms of its authenticity, if they come out to also say that the tape has been doctored, it puts a question mark on the authenticity of the tape, which is where we are coming to now, because now there is a new tape that has emerged. And yesterday, the chairman of the committee mentioned that they have to go back, listen to the tape and all that. I don't know what you make of all this, where we are, where we started from, and where we are, and where it looks like we are going.
First of all, good morning. And then good morning to Elvis. I was just actually here. So I wasn't late.
Oh, you here?
But it's okay. Don't worry. Now, I think that as a journalist, I'm holding back on a lot of the things that I have picked up as far as this whole thing is concerned. This tape, Bugri Nabu's involvement, the IGP's involvement, the involvement of all the police officers and where it's going. I know where it's going. It's going to get dirtier. Okay? I know where it's going. And I mean, I'm holding back from saying a lot of things.
No, say them.
Yeah, I'm holding back from saying a lot of things. See, Bugri Nabu orchestrated all this.
What do you mean by that?
He did. So I think he got that information that people were not happy with the IGP. and that some people were lobbying to oust him. Now, it got more pronounced when after the by-election and then, you know, Assin North and all those stuff. So everything was in the air, you know. And so then I'm told he called these police officers. And there's some plans to change the IGP. Are you guys interested or something?
Are you writing a script or this is what happened?
So the CV, you remember a certain CV was mentioned?
Yes.
And then they
COP, Alex Mercer's CV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How did Bugre, the CV went to Bugre Nabu. It was Alex Mercer who submitted the CV to Bugre Nabu. Bugre Nabu then made contact with the IGP to say that, oh, you see, I even have the guy's CV with me. So quickly the IGP also got interested. And then they bagged the place. Okay, they bagged the place. Now, upon recording the thing, it was one particular officer by name, is it Kenneth?
Asante.
Yeah, Kenneth Asante-Entry.
Yeah.
So Kenneth Asante-Entry had the original tape. That is how come when the recording went out, Bugre Nabu then calls, he thought that he was calling Kenneth Asante-Entry.
And he called Asari.
And then he ended up calling Asari, saying that, how come, why have you released the video? So he even thought it was a video that had been released, or it was a video that was done.
Okay.
You get it? And Asari was like, I think that was when Asari, according to him, Asari threatened him. Because it was unusual for you, Bugre Nabu, to say that you were the only one, sorry, you did the recording, you only had the tape. The tape. And that you handed it over to the president. And then you went back asking a victim, of your recording, whether or not he was the one who leaked the tape to the media.
When he didn't know that there was a recording going on.
You understand? So it's going to get dirtier. I'm sure eventually when the IGP sets, foots there, things will look.
But should the IGP be there? Is it necessary?
I think it is.
Why?
Because there's an original tape. So what we heard in the media, has been edited and then played out. Frema,
Or you also say the rest in camera?
Everybody.
This is
the only camera here.
I want to be off camera.
No, but let me ask you this. Was it necessary in the first place for us to have a public hearing, to telecast the whole thing?
No, but
because this is national security matters. Look at all the things. Did we have to know as a public that there are cracks in there, people are not, and these are top security officials? Was it necessary?
Well, I mean, but as for cracks within the security services, they have always been there, and they will be there till our dying day. Okay, and long after our death, cracks will be there. I mean, where there's power, there's money, or there's ambition, there's envy and all manner of things, you understand? And then there's corruption as well and all that. So it's going to be there all the time. As to whether or not it was of essence to do this whole thing, televise it, the sound was played in the public domain. Do you get it? And so outcomes of it, or if there's an investigation, open the door. Let all of us, see what is happening. Because
now look at the names that have been mentioned. Look at the angle that is turning to. Was it important, based on national security implications, for us to make this whole thing public?
You see, I'm not for that. Under national security, okay, my elementary appreciation of some of these things is that people hide a lot of things under national security. Even corruption is hidden under national security. What you call it? People killing, they hide it under national security. Human rights abuses are hidden under national security.
The way they went and beat Caleb and they said it's national security.
It's national security.
No, it wasn't national security.
Even
That was happened in the office of the national security.
That they didn't want a certain thing to go out because it's of national security.
No, I mean,
So
if it's breached something, you know, there are ways to deal with it. But the beating,
yeah.
you can't beat somebody.
No, but they were beating him because it was a national security.
But what is breach about that? You are doing something. If that is not wrong, there's something
exactly.
why would you be worried?
I mean, well, but my concern is the beating aspect of it.
Yeah.
So
I
under
think
national
that's
security, people hide a lot of
Yeah.
That's
things.
why he's saying that people are hard to do so many wrongs.
Yes, they do.
And
They
say
commit a lot of
we
crimes
don't
in the
need
name
to
of
close
national
because
security.
of national security.
You understand? And I think that is not good enough. But opening the doors for or televising this thing, there's nothing wrong with it. At least you and I are getting to know the machinations within the police set up in particular. The military is worse. The military is worse. It popped up a bit where one of the what do you call it? One of the members said that an officer was sacked from his post even before his time, and he was replaced by Major General Aqua as what do you call it? Military.
Yes, chief of defense staff.
No, not the chief of defense staff. Army commander.
Army commander.
Okay, that is a political statement. However, at a certain level within the security administration and so on, your appointment or your stay in office become political.
Yeah.
It becomes political, whether you like it or not.
That's what the constitution has
And you
crafted
need a
for
certain,
us.
sometimes you need a certain color to be there. If
A
you
certain
are not-
favor.
A certain, well, is it favor? Traditional.
favor is there, color is there.
You need
Because
certain
the way-
connection and favor.
the way we do our things,
Yes.
of course, you need a certain.
You need
color
a
in
certain
some way.
connection.
Yes,
Exactly.
you need a
Connection,
certain
not-
color. You need a certain favor.
That is why they went to
It
Bugri now.
goes beyond grace.
You know.
No, it's connection.
Yeah.
Networking.
Yeah. To where somebody tells you that, listen, I can take you to go and see a malam so that you remain in office. So
that you can remove the other one.
You can remove the
And
other
then you
one
take
and so
over.
on. Okay. Listen, Bugri Nabu, haven't we been here before? Do you recall 2016, when a certain car popped up that it came from President Mohammed's outfit or his family members to Bugri Nabu, and then MPP latched onto that and did a press conference. I remember, what's his name? Today's the officer at MPA, Mustafa Hamid. Yeah, doing a press conference saying that, Charlie, this is what is happening. Cars are being shared and so on and so forth. I mean, the backstory behind that is that Bugri Nabu and then the Mohammeds are like this.
Yeah.
They grew up in the same vicinity in Tamale, with Bugri Nabu being more senior, and then they were in constant, interaction.
Yeah.
Bugri Nabu's daughter at the point in time even fell ill, and it was the Mohammeds who supported her medical bill until he died. Now, you requested for a car, they gave you the car, and then you took the car to your party people, to
Bugri Nabu.
Yes, I mean, this is the character we are dealing with. You watch him carefully, watch his demeanor. At the point in time, he fends, I don't know whether I'm using the right word, but he comes across as somebody who is, absent-minded, somebody who is not intelligent, somebody who is playing dumb. We are
Very calculated.
we are dealing with a calculated figure. You couldn't have called Asari to say that, why did you leak the tape? Okay, and Asari now says, obviously
I'm
he'll
not
be mad at
assaulted.
you. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what you had done. Why are you calling me? And now, I'm sure he would have discovered that later that it was
Asante.
Asari he
was-
called,
yeah.
and not
Asante,
Asante.
yes.
But he gets to the committee and says that, listen, even when I called the guy to ask you whether you are the one who leaked the thing, the guy threatened me. You understand?
But why did he threaten you when he doesn't know anything about it?
doesn't know anything
And you
about
are
it.
accusing him.
Yeah.
You are leveling
How
accusation
do
against
people say
somebody.
that? He said, "Wako chia no mano na otu."
What's
What
the
the
one
one?
added infection? Say your body.
That my man.
No, that we can't. Anyway, so that is where we are with this. So as of close of the yesterday, the chairperson of the committee said they are going to now listen to the new tape. And I think that more names will come up. Like you said,
Well,
we're
a
going to
lot of
get
names
But
are
by the time the more
Messi,
name
you know.
came, they
Yeah, now
mentioned Mami
Santi Bedia
Tiwa
too.
and all that. They were all
Who is
suggested
Area
as
Mama?
a
Who is
possible
Area Mama?
IGP.
What is that my Mitiwa?
COP, Mami Tiwa, and all the.
But who is Area Mama?
Is she the area mama?
No, it's not.
Area mama is also
Now we are looking for Area Mama. I think the interest is Area Mama because the whole name, not like
So,
Area Mama.
Read the Herald tomorrow. I'm sure I'll give you the name of area mama.
Super.
And these
Great.
officers whose voice were not on it now are being mentioned as
Yeah.
people who were suggested as possible IGPs. And meanwhile, you are suggesting people's name without their knowledge. They are sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
You are having your meeting. You are mentioning their names that they should be considered for IG when they have not even contacted you to do so.
Well.
This is what I think. I'm now beginning to appreciate the attitude of Alex COP Mensah because he came across as, somebody
bitter,
bitter. I mean,
wicked.
Not wicked. I didn't see that.
In quotes,
arrogant and so on. So I'm appreciating his arrogance. More like, hey, you guys, you don't know what is happening within the police administration and so on. So then we are having this whole thing. If you really knew, maybe you wouldn't have set up this thing. But having brought me here, let's go. Yeah, he's on a suicide mission. I'll blow everything up.
Yeah, because I'm on retirement.
Yeah.
I'm not in the same.
Yeah, because his demeanor.
Yesterday, the officer who was there said he can't say a lot of things because he is still in service. He still wears the uniform, so he cannot say certain things about the service publicly. But since COP Mensah for him, he knows that I'm out.
Yeah.
It's an issue of what can at this point.
So if you want to paint me as the black sheep, then I will open the canker of worms so that we all get some. Everybody will get some part of the debt. So let's go. If you go into the gutter, go into the gutter with you.
Let's go now.
You understand?
I'm also saying that the members of the committee, they are no more getting fiery like before.
Because of where the whole thing is moving to be.
A lot is
they didn't also anticipate
Yeah.
that this is what was
a lot of
happen.
surprises have been spraying on them.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't too sure if from the get-go we should televise this thing. Especially because this is the security police force and we did not know.
But I'm shocked that a journalist will be saying that. Whatever the story is, you need to be there and be watching. What I'm saying is, I think we could set up the committee, get journalists to come in, I mean, they're allowed to come, listen to what is going on, reports. Yeah.
Okay. But for everybody, to just make it live and everybody is now speaking and all that, that is where
a lot has happened. A lot has happened as far as the police service is concerned.
Yeah.
Some extrajudicial killings here and there, and the police don't get to tell us anything.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that you took a suspect to a place like Baltimore.
Not only suspects.
And
there was exchange of fire and all of them died, and the two suspects all died.
All died. Okay.
This is not the first time that has happened.
You get it. And then the family members came complaining. I mean, I think they quietly gave them the bodies to go and bury. And these are...
It happened at West Hills.
Exactly. These are police officers. You understand? And some of these things had called for investigations by either the committee, the Parliament's Committee on Interior and Defense and Interior. We should have gotten that. If we were doing constant investigations and so on, and exposing people, sacking people, I'm not sure we would have gotten here. People will be careful. I mean, officers of competence will emerge. And wouldn't be your promotion or whatever wouldn't be by the basis of the color you have, the grace we talk about, the malams you went to see, and many others, or your family, deity that is protecting you.
But there's nothing wrong if you consult a malam or your deity or Jesus.
Have you consulted one before?
I'm a Christian.
Okay.
So in terms of spirituality, I pray to God through Jesus. But if somebody is not a Christian and is a traditionalist, they also have their means of prayer.
Yes, but you see, I'm not just...
He believes in Malam, so he's a suggestion.
That's what I'm saying. You understand? So if you come to me, I'll tell you that let's go and see maybe my pastor. Let's pray about it. But if he believes in...
You see, we are talking about... Those are spiritual things.
My only thing was...
Yes, please.
If you say you're a Christian, but you also think that, if you can go and see the Malam to help her, go. That is my only thing. You understand? But what he believes in is another story.
Something got to me yesterday. Daniel Bugri na Bu. Then Alaji Bugri na Bu. then Chief Bugri Nabu. Who are we dealing with?
It's the
Danny.
same man. He has different
Dealing with
titles.
Danny.
It's the
All
same
right,
man.
so this is Breakfast Daily. When we come back, the Finder has a story. 4,169 pregnant women die in 5 years due to complications from pregnancy or childbirth. I think this is one that concerns all of us. For the Danny Bugri Nabu tape, we'll leave it here and wait for the committee